everyone, I have for you today a little recipe video on how I make my Scotch eggs. A lady kindly requested that I show exactly how I make them, and it was on my list to do, so it's just hurried me up a little bit. But basically you can make them as slim and well friendly as you want, you don't have to. As I explain in the video, it depends on the bread that you use, whether you use wholemeal, white, crustless, and also obviously depends on your choice of sausages. If you go low fat, then you can make them slim and well friendly. I think you can probably make them for around about 3 sins for one Scotch egg, and they're a reasonable size Scotch egg, you'd probably only need one. So 3 sins for the main bulk of the meal is a pretty reasonable number of sins. I hope you enjoy, hope you find it useful. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've got any other suggestions of any videos, just let me know in the comments down below. So for this recipe, you will actually need a pack of 8 sausages. You will need 5 large eggs and 2 slices of thick bread or 4 slices of thin crustless. So to start, you just pop the eggs into boil for 7 to 8 minutes. I'm actually doing 5 instead of 4, just so that I've got one spare. And then the 6th egg, I am just going to whisk up, ready to use in the recipe later on. Next, I'm going to whiz up the 2 slices of bread. I actually just use the blender because I find it as easy as anything else. And you just whisk them up until you have a pile of fine breadcrumbs and just pop those in the bowl. I just have here on the plate 8 of the reduced fat pork sausages, and all I'm going to do now is just take the skins off of these, just all 8 of them, so that they become skinless. I've been doing these Scotch eggs now for a few years, since I joined Slimming World the first time, and I've worked out that I use 2 sausages per Scotch egg. So I've got here an 8 pack of reduced sausages, and this will make 4 large Scotch eggs, so 2 sausages per egg. So what I'm going to do here now is just pick up 2 sausages, and I'm just literally going to mush them together just a little bit into a ball, a bit sticky, but it's fine, and literally just have it, I'll just show you there, a ball of sausage meat, and that's what I'm going to do. So I do them in 2s so that you end up with 4 balls of sausage meat. I mean, I guess if you're not following Slimming World, you can probably just buy sausage meat and it works just as well, but I'm unsure of the sin values, which is why I've always done this, because if you know the sin value of the sausage that you're using, these are Tesco reduced fat, and I'm pretty sure these used to be around about 1 sin. I can look that up after the video, but that was roughly what it was. So you end up with 4 of these balls of sausage meat, and that will be there ready for the next step. Once you've boiled your eggs for long enough, which is around about 7 or 8 minutes, I've actually overdone these slightly because I got distracted filming the sausage meat, but normally around about 7 to 8 minutes. Obviously you need them hard boiled. The idea is to try not to boil them too much. So 7 to 8 minutes normally is enough, and then I plunge them straight into cold water, let them cool right down before I peel them and keep them whole. The reason I plunge them into cold water is because if I don't and I let them cool down naturally at room temperature, then I find that the yolk has a bit of a grey ring around it, so when you cut into your Scotch egg it looks a bit grey and not quite so appetising. So I'm going to just wait for these to cool down, then I'm ready to start constructing the Scotch eggs. So the eggs have now cooled down, and I'm just going to de-shell them now, literally just give them a little tap and just pull all the shells off. I've actually done 5 eggs, even though I know that this amount of sausage meat will do 4. I always do 1 extra in case one of the eggs comes out a bit manky, you never know. So basically just take the shell off the egg, and you have got a hard-boiled egg, and I'm just going to pop that into the bowl on the side while I do the rest of these. Then I can start making the Scotch eggs. So I'm now ready to start constructing the Scotch eggs. So just to go over what I've done, I have de-skinned 8 sausages and put them in pairs so that you end up with 4 large balls of sausage meat. I have 4 hard-boiled eggs, 1 egg, and I have blended up 2 slices of bread. Ideally wholemeal. This is actually white because that's all we've got, but ideally if you use the crust as wholemeal, maybe 3 or 4 slices of that, and then you wouldn't have to sin very much. I'm just going to show you how I actually put my Scotch eggs together now. I'm hoping that you can see this well enough. I haven't really done a face-to-face recipe video before. I normally just kind of film it at the stove, so this is a bit different for me. I will try and show you as well as I can. Always have a bowl of water just to be able to dip my hands in. Otherwise the sausage meat gets really, really sticky. So you can kind of use that just to be able to move it. So basically what you're doing is just flattening the sausage meat so that you can get ready to lay the egg in it. So just really, really flatten the sausage meat, pick up your egg, and then what you do, I will pop it on the plate in a minute, I'll just show you, you literally just pop the egg in the middle and you just keep on moving it around, giving it a little bit of a stretch like this, just until you have covered the egg. Try and kind of smooth out any creases because otherwise the sausage meat might open up and expose the egg once it starts cooking. This is why I just have the water, because it just makes it so much easier to be able to kind of move it around and shape it. And then you are basically left with an egg inside the sausage meat. So next up, I've just got my whisked egg yolk, and what you're doing is you're just literally dipping it in there, coating the sausage meat with the egg yolk so that you can then pop it in the breadcrumbs, roll it around, literally just pop the breadcrumbs on top of the sausage meat, and then once you have got a fairly decent coverage, you are ready to pop that on your baking tray. So you've literally just got an egg in the middle of the sausage meat, and then you have dipped it in egg and into the breadcrumbs, and that can just go onto the baking tray. And you do that 4 times over and then pop them in the fridge or straight in the oven, depending on when you're eating them. So I will just carry on with these 4 and I will show you what I'm left with at the end. And there you have 4 fairly reasonably sized Scotch eggs. Obviously some of the breadcrumbs do fall into the bottom, but that doesn't matter. Sim-wise, so basically it would totally depend on whether you use white or brown bread. If you use 4 crustless slices, you throw away half the breadcrumbs. It's really sort of questionable how many sins you would even allow for it. I used to still allow a sin for the breadcrumbs, and again, like I say, it depends on the sausages. It's 2 sausages per Scotch egg. So if you are following Slimming World, it totally depends on the sausage. You just need to work out what 2 sausages are, and that is everything. So we normally serve these up with some beans, sometimes a few potatoes as well, but they are fairly filling, and we find that one's more than enough. Pop them in the oven on 180 for around about 30 to 40 minutes. Just have a quick look, check how they're doing, whether they're crisping up nicely, but yeah, around about 30-40 minutes on 180. So the Scotch eggs have now come out. They've actually had about 40 minutes on 180 degrees. They never look as done as a shop-bought panko breadcrumb Scotch egg would look, but they've had more than enough time. Excuse the fact that it's cut, I've just cut them open just to double check how they look in the middle, and that's how they look. Super yummy. Look forward to those over the weekend. Hope you enjoyed that video and found it useful. If you've got any other ideas of any videos that you'd like to see, just pop in the comments below. I'll see what I can do. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, that would be absolutely amazing. I'm also over on Instagram with the name Mumma_Hedgehog 2, and on the lovely Channel Mum with the name Mumma Hedgehog. See you all soon. Bye.